Hi everyone, it's Chelsea from Little Mountain Ranch. Today I am looking forward to giving you guys a bit of an update on some of the things that have been going on the farm in the last week. And I am absolutely trying to think of another word other than excited. Apparently I say excited too much, my daughter tells me. I'm thrilled, I'm ecstatic, I'm over the moon, I'm joyful, I'm a lot of good feelings. One of them is exciting, I have to admit. I'm very excited about this planning that I am doing with my food forest. I talked about this quite a bit last summer when I was putting in the hugelkultur beds and just learning a lot more about the food forest idea, what it is, how it is that I can implement it on our farm. And this year is going to be sort of the real start of it. I did plant several fruit trees last year. I don't know if I did a video on that or not, but I did plant, I think, 9 fruit trees, some apple, cherry, plum, and what else? I think that was it, over in the orchard. And when I planted the trees, I didn't know a lot about the food forest concept. So I planted them more in, oh, the sun's coming back out, more in a traditional sort of layout, which I regret doing now, but now that the trees are in the ground, that's what I'm gonna work with. I think I'm gonna go have to find a shady spot, just a sec. All right, I've found a shady spot now just as the sun goes behind a cloud, but that's okay. All right, so on to the food forest. I am approaching the creation of this food forest in the same way that I approach a lot of things in my life at this stage of my life. And that is not worrying too much about perfection. Not worrying too much about perfection at all, actually. Just doing the best I can with the knowledge I have and the materials that I have to work with. What I found when I was younger is I realized that I allowed the idea that I needed to do things perfectly or I needed to have all of my ducks in a row before I started a project or anything like that actually held me back a lot from many different things in my life when I look back on it in hindsight. And I just don't allow that to happen anymore in my life. I just go for it. And so what I've done with my preparation for doing this food forest is to sort of wrap my mind around the idea of what a food forest is. So I'm going to give you my idea of what a food forest is, and I'm sure it's not the textbook definition of a food forest, but that's okay. So the idea with a food forest, and this is my very basic understanding of a food forest, but it's a pretty simple idea. The idea is that you're mimicking a natural forest. So you're planting edible perennials in a way that mimics the ground cover level of a forest, the mid-story level, which is your bushes and your shrubs, and then the upper story level, which is your trees. And in the case of a food forest, that usually consists of nut and fruit trees. So that's the basic kind of an idea of what a food forest is. And there's certain plants that you want to plant in each of those levels of your food forest to optimize its growth and optimize its longevity. I have purchased quite a few books, and one of my subscribers, her name is Kirsten. If you have an opportunity to read the comment section, definitely read hers if you come across them, because she is a wealth of information about permaculture and food forests, and she's been really helpful in just giving me advice over the last year as I've been planning this. I will be doing a video that's in more detail specifically about the layout and show you the drawings that I've done of what it is that I've planned for this space. But right now I'll just take you over and show you the space that I'm going to be working with, and then share with you some of the plants that I have purchased to put in there. All right, this is the space behind me that I'm going to be working with, and you can see the fruit trees that I've planted back here. You can also see the areas that a couple of my pigs got out and rooted up, fortunately not wrecking my fruit trees, which is great. The plan is to take this little tractor here with the tiller and to till up the spaces in between the trees. And I have a pretty cool plan for what I'm going to do with this. It's going to be sort of terraced going down with some rock walls, some rock retaining walls and things like that. And the plants that I've ordered are coming in about the first week of May, so I don't have a lot of time to do this, but I am determined to get this project done, and everybody's offered to pitch in and help me get it done. So the reason that you see the car and the tractor there is because yesterday I made an attempt to do this plowing by myself. Working with tractors and machinery, and I've mentioned this before, is something that I don't mind doing, and I actually enjoy haying quite a bit. But when it comes to things like plowing and that sort of thing, I'm not really skilled at, and it makes me a little bit nervous. So needless to say, I did attempt it. The battery was dead on the tractor, so I brought the car up here to jumpstart it. Every time I turned the tiller on and started to move forward, like lifted the clutch off, I stalled the tractor. So I am really not sure what I was doing wrong. Dan said later on today he's going to come out and I'm going to show him what I was doing so that he can show me what I was doing wrong. But needless to say, I have asked Dan if he would please plow this, because if you can see here, the ground is really uneven and I'm a little bit apprehensive of driving the tractor and doing this, but Dan is super skilled, so he's going to get this plowed for me. That is the plan here. And then, like I said, I'm going to do a specific video that is just about the food forest, likely when we start actually the project of building everything and getting all the rocks moved over and building the retaining walls and all of that. And then I'll show you my drawing and the layout that I'm going to be doing on it. But I haven't been as excited about a project like this in a long time, maybe actually since I built the hugelkultur beds in my garden. Okay, so I'll run you down a list of, and hopefully my door swinging doesn't knock over my camera, of the plants that I did purchase. And then if you have any further suggestions of plants that would be good to get, you can let me know. One of the things about planting fruit trees and berry bushes and things like that is they grow over time. So it's not the same as an annual where you put it in the ground and within about 100 days you have a fruit. You end up, in the case of fruit trees and berry bushes, having to wait a couple of years. So I'm quite eager to get as many plants in the ground this year as I possibly can, particularly when it comes to the fruit bearing bushes and the fruit trees. So if you do have any suggestions of anything that I've missed here, let me know. Okay, and I've ordered these from a company called The Incredible Seed Company, and I love that name. And they are in Canada. So I ordered 2 female sea buckthorn and a male sea buckthorn. I ordered 100 strawberry plants that I'm going to use for the ground cover level. A couple of different really hardy grapevines, and fortunately one of the grapevines I planted last year did make it through the winter. These ones are supposed to be good to minus 40 degrees Celsius, so I got a couple of those to go along the fence. Low bush cranberry, haskup, a couple of those, and elderberry. So that's what I'm going to be starting with right now. I also ordered a couple of hardy kiwi vines, and when I show you the drawings when I do that video that's specifically on the food forest, I want to make like an archway that goes between the house and the food forest. That's kind of like the inviting entranceway to the food forest. So this is a project that I've really been mulling over now for a year, so I'm quite excited just to get my hands in the ground and the tiller in the ground and start moving earth around and getting plants in the ground. I have also moved a couple of rhubarb over there already from this main garden. I'm also going to be moving some hostas and some other flowering shrubs that I have and perennials that are in the flower garden around my house over to the food forest, because I'm not a big flower gardener, and my gardens around my house get really, really neglected in the summertime, so I'm going to move a lot of those down into the food forest. On the topic of plants, we're in my greenhouse, and I did get all of my zucchinis, my squashes, pickling cucumbers, all planted yesterday, and we did about 200 of them. So I'll give you a quick view over of how things are looking in the greenhouse. I just planted these zucchinis a couple days ago, and look, they're already starting to come up. I love it. And these are some ones that I planted a couple of weeks ago, and they're all doing really well down there. And my little tiny tomatoes that I shared with you guys that a friend of mine from Quebec sent are coming up here, which is beyond exciting. I cannot wait to try these tomatoes out. These are actually just some flowers that I'm going to be putting into one of my front flower beds, the only flower bed that I'm actually going to grow this year. And then all back here is where I have all of my squashes planted, and back there. The good news is that the cauliflower did come back and is doing really well, which is great. Still not quite as well as the broccoli that I planted at the same time, but it came back, so it's gonna be just fine. I'm a bit behind what I was last year, but I'm not worried about it because I'm pretty sure that I'm still going to have a lot of plants to plant in my garden rather than having to buy them, so that's always good. Okay, now I'm gonna take you and show you probably one of the cutest things you've ever seen. Oh my goodness, you are the cutest. Look at you. Quenta, do you want to come see? Come see the baby.
So adorable.
What do you think, you guys?
She's soft.
Isn't she so soft? She is. She looks just like a deer. Oh, don't try to touch that one, okay, sweetie?
Big eyes. She has humongous eyes.
She does. So do you guys think Blossom is a good name for her?
Yeah. Brownie.
Yeah, she does look. She looks like a little caramel color, isn't she? Just beautiful. Oh, I know. Is everybody petting your baby? What a good mom you are. You are such a good mama. Yes, hon?
I always pet the mom cow before I pet the calf.
Why do you do that?
So, I don't know. It just makes me feel more safe.
Oh, I think that's a really smart idea, and it lets her know that you're safe, right? That you're not going to hurt her baby.
Yeah.
I think that's a really smart plan.
She always does. She always takes
So you just need to watch out now. If she starts acting a little bit nervous, then you just back off. Always, always with mums and babies, okay? Just pay attention to her body language. See how she's looking. Move nice and slow.
Oh, she thinks
So
we're...
she's not liking that, right? So now it's time to back up. Perfect. Now, Oliver, because you're kind of in the way of the path of her to get to her baby, maybe if you move out of the way, she'll feel a little bit more comfortable. The dogs are over there. That's why she's feeling so concerned. Oh, and Scarlet. Scarlet comes outside now all the time and plays outside. She's weaned, so she's going to be for sale in the next couple of days. If anyone's local and is looking for a breeding sow, she will be fabulous in the future, so send me a message.
She's such a big pig now.
Yeah, she is. She's grown a lot.
She's like, she's a little girl.
What are you doing, little girl?
She just dug a little hole.
She did. Maple, what are you doing? You got to be the best dog ever. What are you doing? Such a good girl.
What?
Now it's your turn.
Oh, you're such a good girl. Let's go see where she's going.
She's on a treasure hunt. Maybe she wants to go back to the house.
Mom, she's on a treasure hunt for pig's gold. Which is true. Actually,
She wants to go back to your house.
Does she?
And it's food.
You think so? My little one has informed me that she is hungry, so we are going to head back into the house and get something to eat. Do you want to open the gate? Okay, open it up.
I am.
You can do it. Now you have to pull. Pull back. Where are you? Can you close it for me? You close it? Good job. Okay, we can go back outside after we're done getting a snack. Would you like that? Yeah, okay. The nice thing is my little one loves to be outside, which is so lovely because not all of my kids, when they were 3, enjoyed being outside, which made it pretty hard, but she loves it. Okay, we're going to give her a snack and then head back outside. I hope you all have a wonderful couple of days until I see you again. Bye.